Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the revived Legendary Heroes podcast. We used our Phoenix Downs. We are back from the grave. I know it's been only 700 years, but it's fine. We're back in it, and you just saw that amazing intro. God, who could have done that? Man, it must have been someone great with a beard and blonde hair.
It was me.
Beautiful eyes, incredibly handsome. I'm talking about Joe.
Thank you. I did dye my hair.
No, actually, I did that intro, so fuck you. I'm just kidding. All right, so today we are going to start it off hot and heavy. I don't know why I went with those adjectives, but we're talking about the controversial topics of Kickstarter, early access, and Steam Greenlight. So first, as usual, we're going to start things off with the top 5. We're going to do top 5 games in that category, because we're creative.
All right, I'll go
first.
Hi, I'm Matt. Seeing as we didn't introduce ourselves because we're fucking professional.
Oh.
God damn it.
Roll call.
You consider yourself a host?
Roll call.
Holy shit.
Jacob, Nordic. Same person. You guys, go.
Matt.
My name is
Matt.
Joe.
Same person. Me and Joe are the same person.
My name's Matt.
See?
Oh God. See?
Oh, this is already getting confusing. Thank you
Yeah.
for audience members who might come and get immediately confused.
Oh shit, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. My name's Joe.
The deep voice one is Joe, the weirdly British / Boston / whatever his accent is now, is Matt. And finally, who finally was smart enough to wait her turn.
Like always, I'm Erica.
Yeah. So now we have our names.
Yep.
Jesus, I'm a great host.
Yep.
Okay. So,
What is
top 5 games in that category. Let's start off with Matt.
Well, there's one that was actually recently just released on July 3rd. I think it just came out of Kickstarter. It's a game produced by a Canadian company called Compulsion Games that made a game on the PS4 a way back called Contrast. I think Joe's played it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made that game, which was like a kind of 2D platformer. It was really bizarre, but they made this new game called We Happy Few, which is it's like a first-person survival game, and it's essentially...
Is that a Nintendo console?
It's on PC. Exclusive.
I know, it's like We Happy You? What?
No, We Happy Few, bro.
Oh, We Happy Few. Okay,
yeah,
that makes
yeah.
just
It's
sense.
PC exclusive, but essentially the idea is that you're in a dystopian London universe based in an alternate 1960s universe where World War II's over, but the Germans won and took over the UK.
What's the Wolfenstein?
But then in order to get rid of the Germans, all the UK citizens had to do something really disturbing and fucked up to get rid of them. And then to forget about that,
So 1984.
To forget about that, they all made they made a drug called Joy that makes them forget about that and just be super happy all the time. And the premise is that you're a downer, i.e. somebody that's not on Joy, and you basically have to try and escape, going through all the different very levels of London, so the kind of the outskirts, the slums, and try and basically make your way out.
That sounds cool. What's
that
the
sounds awesome.
genre?
It's I guess it's first person survival. I guess I don't really. There's combat and stuff involved, but you have to do all the kind of watching your health and your food and water meters and that kind of thing. But it's kind of action packed with a stealthy thing in the background.
Oh, okay.
I'd say that was a pretty good description.
It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna do a video on it when I get back to doing the YouTube thing. But yeah,
Okay.
that would be my choice.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, I think I have one that we're all going to agree on. Sorry, yours was Kickstarter, yes, Matt?
Yes, Kickstarter.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was Kickstarter early access. So, I think I can speak for all of us, or at least some of us, when I say we're all looking forward to Ukulele.
Oh yeah, I funded that shit.
Yeah, you did?
Along with everyone else.
I was gonna say it was a lot of people funded it.
Yeah.
It hit it's like 3 million now, right?
Yep.
It's pretty close.
Is
to
it
that.
3 million? Last time I checked, it
I'm
was
pretty
2.
sure. Well, I think that was in euros, which is 3 million in our money.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I backed it.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ukulele is made by all of the old team members from Rare who worked on Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country, including Grant Kirkhope, who's composing again. You could tell immediately on listening to the music because it sounds just like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they've made the new Platonic Studios. I am really excited to see that game. I've been waiting for a true Banjo-Kazooie successor since, the horror nightmare that was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Thank God they left and did their own thing. They're like, yeah, you can have Rare. We're just gonna go over here and
keep making your
be
Connect
shit.
games. So many Connect games. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
One thing, about Grant Kirkhope, there are 2 soundtracks that are available, like pre-game release. One of them's by Grant Kirkhope, and other one's by like another new guy. And the other one sounds amazing too.
Really?
Rivalry, cool. Like kind of better. I don't know. It's hard to say. You kind of need to know the zone that it's going to be for, but I think
that's really what's going to determine it. Like at least with Grant Kirkhope, like his compositions fit the environment to a T. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to be in context. So
yeah. All right, my turn.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Mine is Starbound. I freaking love this game. So Terraria came out, I don't know, like 5-6 years ago, and I was like, "What the? Was it really more? It might have been like 8."
I don't know. I have no clue. But
yeah, I fell in love with that game. And then Starbound came out, and it's like, okay, here's the world. Now you can go fly to others and just like mass materials and like. I really liked the feature that you could actually no, you could do that in Terraria too, but. It was just a whole new experience and like a whole new theme, so I really like it. One thing I don't like though is it's been in alpha for so long. It's still an alpha.
Is it early access?
DayZ.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
God, DayZ is such a disaster.
DayZ been in early access for 2 fucking years, and it's no better. It's still broken and shit.
Yeah. We complained about that game last podcast we did.
Did we really?
Yeah, or maybe not last one, but one of the ones we did
the zombie one,
over 5-something months ago. So, holy shit, get your shit together.
And it's still the same.
They just took the money and ran. I'm so angry.
Rocket's not making his own shit, but what I find hysterical is I enjoy playing Unturned more than DayZ, and Unturned is free.
And Unturned's made by like one 16-year-old.
It's made by I think there's like 8 kids now in the development team. But it's
wait, is Unturned the one that looks kind of like Minecraft-ish?
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't look much like that anymore. They upgraded to Unity 5, and it looks pretty fucking awesome actually.
Okay.
But no, they actually made some pretty good strides with that. It's got more content than DayZ, and it's free, so it's like, good job, DayZ. Yep. You fucked up. Anyway,
what about you, Erica? What's your favorite?
Okay. Well, mine is actually a game that was recently greenlit. Called Allison Road. I don't know how many people actually know about that, but
they should.
They should. Yeah.
Google over here.
They really should. It's basically when the Silent Hills game got like canned. Some guy went out and recently he like decided he was gonna take the premise of PT and make a whole game based around it, and it just looks really, really good.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
that's
like
awesome.
I didn't know about this.
It's been like the people like the Kojima and whoever else was behind PT has kind of said that Allison Road is like he's basically allowing them to classify it as a spiritual successor to PT.
Oh,
yeah.
So he's gone
so
ahead,
awesome.
So he's gone ahead and given that his like seal of approval.
It like
fuck Konami, like actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took like literally like overnight they were greenlit. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. They went from like they had like 15 and then they went greenlit and like they did all the like the Facebook stuff and stuff and then like the next day they were greenlit. It was ridiculous.
Yep.
Why did they cancel PT? Like the game had so
because
much hype.
Konami
because there was a lot of drama with Kojima leaving and with everything that happened with like basically all the developers that were leaving Konami or getting booted from Konami. So they just they basically lost all of their like head developers and designers for that game.
Yeah, so it fell apart.
Such a disaster. So many bad decisions had to be behind that.
Yeah, you don't have that company without Kojima. Like you just don't.
Nope.
Yeah.
So they fucked up, and now they're making mobile games. So great. Great choice.
What's amazing about Allison Road though is that it's based it's set in the UK in like a UK just an average UK townhouse, and it looks so accurate. It's unbelievable. Like
are we
gonna
see?
You'll have to.
We're gonna get insight into Matt's life.
Pretty much. You have to look. There's like a 10 or 15 minute playthrough video, and it's apart from that it's absolutely terrifying. And the atmosphere is amazing. Just looking at the house, it's like I've been in people's houses before in the UK that look exactly like that house. It's like, it's so perfectly done.
It really is.
It's unreal. It's absolutely like graphically, it's phenomenal.
I think that Allison Road, like the premise of Allison Road, is just so smart though because now they're taking over all those people that wanted Silent Hills, and then when Silent Hills got canceled, like all those people are now, once they find out about it, they're just gravitating to that game. It's just so smart.
That's really smart.
And it deserves to. A game like that deserves to be made. Like I was very excited when PT was released. So that's really cool. I'll have to look into that. I actually do have one more to cap off the top 5 if you guys don't have any others.
Is it Shenmue?
I can't think of anything.
It's what? No, it's definitely not Shenmue. We'll talk about that in a minute. No, it is Shovel Knight.
Oh!
It was kickstarted.
Joe just got super excited then.
And, all of you guys know I adore that game. It was probably my most famous Twitch stream, doing the no death run of that. And even though it was, God, it fucked me so bad. It was still a lot of fun. I still love that game, and I'm excited for all the content that they're making for it. Free DLC for that matter, because these guys are, what are they? Yacht Club. Those guys are amazing. So yeah, just that shows you what you can do with a really great idea on Kickstarter. So
yeah, it's cool that it started that way, and now he's like in the voting poll for
Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
yeah. I hope he gets in there. So. Okay, so yeah, there's our top 5. So we have, what was it? Allison Road, I already forgot everything. Yooka-Laylee, Shovel Knight. What was the other 2?
Starbound,
and Matt.
We Happy Few.
That's why I couldn't remember that one. It's so weird. Yeah. That's a weird title.
My name is in that game, by the way. Like it's
name?
It's hidden in as an Easter egg. Yeah. Like if you pledge in at a certain point, they basically, anybody that pledged at that particular level has their name secretly hidden in the game somewhere. So either you'll find an NPC with your name, or you'll find your name on a wanted poster.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or in the newspapers, or in a missing persons board or something like that. Your name.
I want to play it just so I can search for Matt.
That's what I said.
It won't be in there yet. They've only just taken our names.
Well, yeah.
For to put it in, but it'll be in when it's out. It'll be in when it comes out in beta, I think.
Okay, so now let's now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about just kind of some of the pros and cons of these things. Let's start with Kickstarter. I think that's a good place to start.
I love Kickstarter personally.
It's a place where good ideas, you fund a game based on whether it sounds good or doesn't. So nothing could just come out and be shit. It has to be a good idea to begin with.
It's like pre-early access. So obviously the developer gives you an update. A lot of them, particularly the smaller indie companies, give you an update once a week. I know they did it with We Happy Few and a couple of others where they'll send you an email once a week kind of saying this is what we've been working on this week. So you have a real-time kind of update on everything that's been going on and all the progress they're making, which is really cool. So you can see the game is actually moving forward and it's worth putting your money towards. And some of those updates are free to view, even if you haven't pledged yet, so you can still see the game is being produced. And you don't, you're not paying $30 for a game that's going to sit in early access for 2 years because it's not moving forward because the development team's a fucking shambles.
Right.
It really gives you a kind of insight into the game before you even have to pledge for it. And obviously you get all the extra rewards and the stretch goals and all that kind of thing. So you can really have a say and help mold the development of a game. And
I like too that I think it offers developers a really incredible option because, you like we saw with Platonic Studios, and that's not the only one that has been a big developer that has gone and branched off on their own. Mighty Number 9 with Kaiji Inafune, the guy who helped design Mega Man, he's making Mighty Number 9, which is a spiritual successor to the old Mega Man games, and then Koji Igarashi, the Castlevania guy, making Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is a spiritual successor to Castlevania. Meanwhile, I think that's also Konami, isn't it? Castlevania? Because they're not doing shit with it. They've had Lords of Shadow, which, God, it's not a Castlevania game. It was the Shadow Colossus knockoff.
I have a question.
Yeah?
For Kickstarter, if you fund something that doesn't reach the goal of coming out, do you get your money back?
There's an option there, so it depends on what the developer says. So, most projects you'll see, it's that the money only gets taken if the project is successfully funded. So if the project, if its goal is 120 and it goes above 120, then yeah, your money will be taken at the point that it gets funded, so the point the Kickstarter campaign ends. But sometimes you'll see where it says that it, any money they get will go straight to them anyway.
Okay, because if you couldn't get your money back, I would consider that a con.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of half and half.
Yeah.
But you are aware of the of like whether or not you'll get your money back or not. Like you can see what kind of campaign they're running, so you can see if they're gonna take it if they get funded or not. Like that option is readily available to the public, so you're not gonna get trapped in it. Like you know what you're going into.
I would fund a game that's like I feel like that just lowers your chance of getting funded, but whatever.
Yeah, but it probably does. Well, I mean, it's kind of a gamble. Yeah, like I was saying, there is the great side of that is that you can directly support projects that you think are a good idea, and it's giving developers like big names an option to go and make their own stuff free of contracts, free of producers publishers who can hold things over them or. So I'm really expecting I'm fully expecting Kojima to appear on Kickstarter with games of his own anytime soon, as well as plenty of other developers. I love that it gives them that ability, but there is the downside that there are those failures of people taking advantage of people's charity.
Yeah,
that has happened. I think there was a game called The Stomping Land.
Oh God.
Yeah, you guys know about this? Yeah. Erica, do you want to take this?
Well, actually, I bought it, so.
Oh, shit. Well, fuck your life.
Yeah. So it just I don't even really know what to say.
So it just
it was that bad.
Nailed it.
It was just bad. Yeah.
Well, here's what happened with the Stomping Land. The guy who started the Kickstarter raised $100,000 to kickstart this game, and then canceled it. He quit. He said that he wasn't working on it anymore. That it was too difficult. And he left to work on another project. People did not get, to my knowledge, refunded.
Well,
what the fuck?
He spent half the money, so he could only refund half the people, and so he just didn't refund anybody. But what was amazing is that they went dark for like 4 or 5 months before telling people that he'd stopped working on it.
Yeah, that should be fucking illegal. I don't know.
It was just all of a sudden one day you were like, "There's no game. It's gone. Goodbye," and you're out your money.
Oh, and he removed I can't remember what it was. He removed all of the bonus rewards and all that shit too. He completely fucked over anyone who supported him.
Yep.
And then it got removed from early access, so you didn't even have the shitty alpha version.
Yeah.
At the end of it, so you literally gave him money for nothing.
Yeah, because it was one day, it was because I bought the early access, and one day you go on the computer and you're your game is still installed, but you can't run it. And then it's you go in and you Google and Steam is yeah, we've taken it down because the guy's fucked off to nowhere and.
In my opinion, that should actually be illegal. You're paying ahead of time for a product.
Yeah, and it's it was $30 too.
I think there's a clause in Kickstarter that protects both Kickstarter and the person that's running the campaign from that happening. But I think since the Stomping Land, it has changed.
Yeah, well, the thing is that you have to be extraordinarily careful if you're planning on supporting any of those. You have to make sure to read the fine print, because otherwise someone can easily screw you out of your money.
Just think about it. What if Yooka-Laylee... Sorry to interrupt. What if Yooka-Laylee was okay, it's...
What do we have, 3 million? We're done.
Of course they would never do that. Pocket. We spent half $1.5 million, and we're just going to fucking pocket the rest to not offend the rest of the people, or to not only give half the people back their money.
Luckily that's kind of the bonus of having a good name like the developers of Yooka-Laylee and of Mighty No. 9 and Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. You know that you're going to get something because they are professionals. But for all the people who aren't, whoever made the Stomping Land, you're making a gamble. So it's it can be a little bit shady if you're not careful.
Last thing on that. Sorry, Matt. I wish that guy gave half of the money back to everybody rather than just pocketing the rest. I think that's a better solution.
It is definitely at least that way you're not you've only spent $15 for no reason instead of 30.
But, yeah, so everyone gets $7.50 back.
Yeah, that's if he were a decent human being.
And that's if everybody only paid $30, because obviously there's the different levels of pledge, and it's kind of hard to keep track of that as well. That's the main thing. But no, there's been other instances in Kickstarter where that kind of thing is you've been absolutely wrecked. There was one guy who was building there was one guy who made a board game essentially, and then he got I think he got $1 million in pledges or something like that, And then he just never... I think he actually got jailed for this, but he just never did anything with it. Like, he took the $1 million and just left. And then he, like, never... He'd, like, promised people that, the board game was in production. He was making all the pieces and all this kind of shit. And it was all going through a factory and everything like this. And then just nothing
Meanwhile,
happened.
he was spending his $1 million.
Meanwhile, he was, like, on a fucking yacht in the middle of, like, the Bahamas or something. Like,
how can you not afford to make a board game with $1 million? I
know, he just
I'm sure he could have.
He just didn't want to do it.
He just chose not to.
He'd rather try to spend the $1 million on a yacht and then a house in the Bahamas, which is what he did. And then he got, I think both his yacht and his house got seized, and he got jail time too. I think it was a couple of years. So he has nothing left to show for it, and he's in jail. But you know, it's just kind of, they got pretty fucked for it.
Yeah.
It's just like that's just the kind of thing you have to kind of keep an eye on.
Yeah, so generally...
Sorry, what? Go ahead.
Generally, I think it's like, it's a risk, but really good things can come out of it. I think that's the idea.
For every really bad, shitty thing that you have happen like that, there's, you know, like 5 other really good things.
Yeah.
For every Stomping Land, you get, you know, a Shovel Knight, Shadowgate, Dive Kick, the Banner Saga, Faster Than Light.
Hopefully,
all of those
Ukulele.
Can we talk about how fucking good Faster Than Light is?
Oh my god. I didn't even know that was a Kickstarter game, but I fucking love that game.
I didn't know it was a Kickstarter game either, but I fucking love it. It's horrible.
I played that game
good.
for like 24 hours, like straight.
Oh my god.
I did something similar. Like, it's one of those things where like I can't sleep and then I'm just up all night playing FTL. But
I like looked up all the ships and then I was like, holy shit, I need to find this one quest to get the perfect ship that I want. And then I just played the game straight until I got it.
Oh yeah, and fucking Shenmue. Let's talk about Shenmue 3.
Let's talk about Shenmue for just a little bit, because it's supported by Sony, but the Kickstarter campaign is currently broken all kinds of records in video games and countrywide records and everything else.
Yeah.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
It's like a
Shenmue?
It's like a Japanese.
Okay, yeah.
Bullshit.
So Shenmue 1 and 2 were like these old games. What were they on? Were they on? I think they were on a Sega console, weren't they? Were they Dreamcast games?
I think they were Dreamcast. Yeah, the second one definitely was.
So basically, they were like the start of, like, you know, the investigative game genre. Things like LA Noire. Think that. Basically, you walk around as this boy in Japan or is it Japan?
I think it's China, or it's...
okay, it might be China, yeah, actually.
I think it is, I think it is China.
And his father dies, so he goes around asking, like, people of the town about the man who killed his father. And it's an investigative game, but it was really good it was revolutionary for its time, but like you look back at it now, it's like the dialogue is like, do you think you could tell me where I could find some sailors? They're like, I don't know anything about that. So
that voice acting.
I know, right?
Shenmue 2, I think, was pretty similar.
The graphics,
and I don't have anything against Shenmue 3 being made. I mean, I think that's cool. Like, I mean, I think it's the purpose of Shenmue has been reached. Like, you know, it made the genre like it wanted to. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think it's particularly necessary, but I still think it's cool that, like, it can be done with Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. That being said, it is 100% bullshit that Sony shows that at E3, and even though they're like, yeah, we could afford the $1 million to fund this game and make it a PlayStation exclusive, but we're not. Yep. So here it is. Look at it, and throw your money at them, even though we're probably gonna fund it anyway. Yep. So that's some bullshit right there. They're like, let's make the crowd do as much work for us as we can before we pick up the rest.
That's bullshit.
My favorite thing about that is it's literally that it's at 5 million right now, but it's like that's not. They estimate that it's going to be like 10 million anyway. So the people that are supporting it on Kickstarter are only supporting half of it. So like
people are throwing their money at it.
Sony is fronting the other half of it anyway. I don't understand what's going on with it at all.
It's frustrating.
It's so dumb.
I think people should have immediately stopped supporting it as soon as Sony showed that on E3. You're wasting your money at this point, because they will get the money they need to finish the game. It's as simple as that.
Because Sony showed it at E3.
Yeah, it's
because if it didn't go off, then they would have failed.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's true.
Like if it didn't get funded, they would have had to front the money because they showed it at E3. They want it to happen.
Yeah.
So if it didn't get funded, they would have had to fund it themselves because they already showed it at E3.
Exactly. So
there is no point.
So yeah, that's exactly what the problem is. So I'm pissed off about that whole thing, and I'm also pissed off at the people who were like, "Oh my God, Shenmue 3! Oh, let's throw your money at it," because like, guys, come on, like I get it, like it was a cool game for its time, and yeah, it's cool that they're making it, but Sony's gonna make it for you.
I've never heard of Shenmue. It's weird how like I consider myself a really hardcore gamer, yet I've never heard of this game, and a million other people are funding it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there's only so many games you have time to play in your life.
Yeah,
so
and if you never really owned a Dreamcast or anything like that, you're never gonna heard of it. But it's broken like Kickstarter records. Like it's at I think it's at 5 million right now. And that's like the highest. Like I think it's one of the highest like funded Kickstarter projects ever.
I think that's really bad because I think that encourages companies to come out and do that more often. To just be like to advertise, be like, here's this thing that we want to make. Now you.
But we don't want to spend the money, even though we have massively more money than the consumers. Yeah. So you do it.
But my favorite thing is that it's not. They don't legally. They don't even have to list themselves as Sony because they just listed themselves as like whoever the developer is under Sony that's making Shenmue. So you don't know that you're giving Sony the money, but you are giving Sony the money. That's what's happening right now.
It's fucking bullshit.
You're just.
I think we need to. Do you think we should move on to early access?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Fucking early fucking access.
Early access can be so good and so bad.
I have two things to say about early access. One, Xbox made it better because they essentially what Xbox have done is they've taken certain games from Steam early access. For example, the two they've got right now on like a preview system that I currently have access to are The Long Dark, which I did the Hump Day video on, and Elite Dangerous. But what Xbox have done is they give you the opportunity to basically run a demo of it. So you get the access to the full game for an hour without having to pay a single penny, and then after that it gives you the option to either uninstall the game or like pay for it. And so that means you're not going to get into the shitty trap of early access where you pay like $15 for a game, you open the game up, in like 15 minutes you realize it is the biggest pile of bullshit you've ever played in your life.
Steam should have done that to begin with.
Exactly.
Steam still should do it.
But Steam's ran by Valve, not Microsoft. But yeah, so that's one thing about early access that I will say is that it's better on a console, which is hilarious. But
who would have thought that Microsoft would have made the sound like just decision and not Valve? Right? When has that ever happened in the history of gaming?
I don't know, but it's one thing that I was quite happy with Xbox's E3 presentation. But
they should like you said, they should have done that from the very beginning because there's I'm sure there's. Let's say there's that Earth Year 2066 that was early access that literally had to be removed because Steam basically was like, they were straight up dishonest on the early access when they were selling it to people. They were straight up lying about the content of the game.
Batman is fairly similar too.
Huh?
It's not really early access, but I must just say, like, did you hear about the Batman Arkham Knight? And how it's on Steam because they fucking outsourced their PC port to like an indie console studio that's never worked on PC games before.
It's bullshit.
But Warner Bros. Put their AAA title out to an indie company. I was just like, why? Where did that make any sense at
Is it really that much harder to port to PC than doing PS3 and Xbox?
It should be easier because the hardware on a PC can run almost anything. Like you don't have to do anything silly because all the hardware in a console is different.
And the other one was Space-Based DF9. That was another early access controversial title.
Didn't even hear of that.
No, well, the development ended early, and the guy completely removed the list of planned features, pocketed the money, and it was removed from Steam.
There's definitely a zombie one too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember what it's called either.
The War Z, is that what it's?
Yes.
Well, it's actually called what was it like? Infestation Survivor Stories.
Yeah, they changed the name because like World War Z sued them or something.
No, it was called The War Z, and now it's called Infestation Survivor Stories. But that.
But it's still the same inane bullshit of the guy using like pre-made models and textures and really shitty just everything, and it was a total flop. But like the guy didn't get really punished for it. People paid him money for him not delivering on something and fucking get it back.
There is another zombie one. Is it called? Was it like?
Oh, there's a lot of zombies.
Is it DayZ?
It can't be that.
It took me a minute to realize what you were doing.
That's a serious problem. Like, there's no incentive for them to make more of the game after they receive your money.
Exactly.
It's like, here's the promise of the game, you just need to pay, and then you pay, and then it's like, what? Why the fuck would I'll add a truck. Like, that's literally what happened.
Literally, they added a bike, and they added a truck, and they added a few weapons, and then they removed like an airbase, which completely pissed everybody off. Like, well, good job, Daisy, you nailed it. You
like,
were...
they're pretending they're doing work and just like enjoying the good life.
Exactly.
Every time they update it, they break something else.
Yep.
That would be like if you paid an author before they made their book, and like you're just like, oh, you're gonna write a book about this? Okay, here's my money. I can read the first 20 pages for the full price of the book. Great. Let me know when you're done. Can't wait to read the rest of this.
30 years later.
Yeah.
2 years later, like, changes a few lines, like...
He's added a page.
Adds a page.
About a truck.
It's like, technically, we're doing what you asked. We're changing things, adding things.
I added an index of characters. What I mean, you've only met 2% of them, but, you know, it's helpful. Yeah, so it's stupid.
It's why
there's no quality assurance whatsoever.
For sure.
Well, at least on Steam, you know, Xbox is rectifying that. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Steam hasn't done it before. They need to. Same thing with Kickstarter. There needs to be quality assurance. If the developer doesn't, you know, put out what they promised, there needs to be, you know, legislature, like actual documents that says you have to either, you know, if you don't finish during this time period, you got to pay that money back. Like
definitely needs to be less risque.
The most
risque, not risky, risque. You're right.
Risque.
Kickstarter and early access are really sexual.
That needs to be less cheesy. But I think that Kickstarter is actually quite good because by the time a game comes to Kickstarter, the chances are it's already got an alpha build or a pre-alpha build made.
Yeah, and they've already been improving.
They've already built a game that, like, they've already built the bones of a game without even having any of your money. Then you bring it to Kickstarter, where they then have a month where you promise them your money, but you don't actually give it to them. But during that time, they still continue working on the game. So it's like, it's kind of better than early access, where like they put it on early access on Steam for like a day, where it's on like a playable alpha build. Playable is a questionable word, and then you like. I don't know, like, then every gives them all the money, and then they just fuck off. Like, there's like the month period within Kickstarter, I feel is quite kind of important.
You know what I think they should do? I think they should have, like, milestones, and for each milestone they reach, you pay them a little bit more. Like, I don't know, you invest for what the pieces that you want, and as soon as it hits that, you pay them.
So not pay full price for an early version of the game, instead pay incrementally on what's included.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
I think that would be less risque.
I think.
I can't tell if I'm trolling or if I'm having a stroke right now.
Both.
Okay, good.
Rip Matt.
I'll just stroke off over here. It's okay.
Oh, and then there's, of course, I guess we better wrap it up so that way Erica can finish their stats homework. There's, of course, the Steam Greenlight, which is kind of like the baby early access because you're not actually paying money. I don't know if you guys have done a lot of the Greenlight stuff, but basically what it is you go on and there's all these early ideas for games that have not yet been permitted into Steam, but developers put up gameplay previews or trailers, screenshots, and like a list of features that they plan to include. And then the populace of Steam votes on whether or not they would like that to be added onto Steam as a game.
That's a really good system.
Yes,
because they already know the interest, and they're also advertising for it. Like,
right, it's a really, really great system because you're not paying anything. And
theoretically, Joe's system would work with Greenlight.
Yeah, it would. That's
also
that's
true, yeah.
really smart because Greenlight is where you like say this is our list of goals, and you know this is what we plan to make and where we've come so far. So that would work perfectly if you could tie that into early access. And I think it's just an overall like much better system. I think that anything that's going into early access should go through Steam Greenlight first. It's essentially sort of a population test, you know. People get a view of like what the game can be. It requires a certain level of investment in the game already before people are going to vote on it. Because if you put something like shoddy and not even close to being finished, like a 0.0001 alpha on there, it's not going to get voted. But if you put something that looks like it could be a quality product with some time, then people are probably going to vote on it. And I've been really enjoying going through and seeing either the really like promising titles or the really, really crappy ones, and then going through reading the comments of people being like, you clearly used RPG Maker 0.1 to make this game. Please remove this from Greenlight. And then it has like 2 votes for it. So that's never going to happen. So it's just a really good system. I really, really like it. I'm a big fan of Greenlight.
There are some shitty games that get put through Greenlight, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It does happen because there are shitty people in the world.
And a lot of times, like I've seen a few ones that's just they're just plain silling on sex. There's one that just is like it like controls like Resident Evil, but all of the monsters are naked.
God, that's annoying. It's like Twitch girls.
Yeah. It's weird because there's like these demons walking around with like their penises out, and these like demon girls with like fleshy, gross boobs.
Sorry,
I'm
what's the
like
name of this game? I want to play it for research.
Homework purposes.
For research.
I don't know, Realm of Flesh or something like that.
Oh, it sounds kinky.
It's called porn, Matt. Look it up.
Let me just Google that. Porn.
I'm just like, come on, like really. So I don't know. It's silly. But that being said, I think it's a good system. You're not investing anything. All you're doing is deciding whether or not it gets on Steam. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Any closing thoughts? I think our general consensus is that we need a hell of a lot more quality assurance on these things. But other than that they're sound concepts.
Some of the games that come through are very sexy.
So some of the games that come through are basically Dead or Alive meets zombies. I'm sure there's a lot more where that came from too.
I'm glad that it allows things like ukulele to happen.
Yeah, and I hope that they prevent things like the Stomping Land from happening.
Yeah.
In the future.
Again.
So yeah, that's our take. So thanks so much for listening / watching, everyone. We will now be doing this. Are we doing this weekly or bi-weekly? I don't think we ever said.
I don't have a job anymore, so.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a 30-minute podcast, so you want to say weekly, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it weekly every Sunday. Works for me.
Yeah, so join us every week for a new Legendary Heroes podcast. And tell us what you think about topics for future episodes. Tell us your thoughts on what we talked about today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff, and check out our individual channels, except for Erica. She doesn't actually do anything.
Just check out my channel twice.
Yeah, do that, because I do the art for him, so do that.
And actually, we're Erica, me, and Erica, Matt, and I are now on a Castle Crasher series, so check that out. Joe's doing something.
I'm doing nothing.
And I've got a bunch of new videos coming out soon. So yeah, check us all out, and we will see you next time.